I'm Eli Gingrich, and I graduated from West Liberty High School in 2019. A couple of things I liked the most about going through the program at school was that essentially most of our days, especially in elementary as a young kid, were split up essentially 50-50. So a lot of our learning experiences for class subjects were taught first in English and then directly in Spanish, being that like textbooks and tasks and whatnot, everything was essentially the same. However, doing it in Spanish, I think provided a lot of exposure to vocab at a very young age, which is, I think incredibly important as we are developing as students. Another thing I really enjoyed was that most of the teachers here, aside from being great educators, a lot of them, their primary language is Spanish, and aside from being able to, teach very well, they've come from South or Central America or European Spanish-speaking countries. So I think, like I said, aside from just being able to teach very well, they're also able to provide a lot of cultural insight in terms of habits and things like that from other Spanish-speaking countries around the world. So when I went to college at the University of Iowa, my first semester there, I decided to not take any Spanish-related classes because I thought I had a pretty good grasp on it for my time at West Liberty. However, just second thought, I thought it would be a good idea to develop the language outside of high school. And from past experience talking to West Liberty graduates, a lot of them have said that, when you come to these classes at the university, that you're a lot better equipped than most students in terms of grasping material and just being able to carry out those conversations. So I definitely felt, a sense of nervousness going in, taking my first class, in that second semester of my freshman year. And, not to come off as, arrogant by any means, but, quickly after, just being introduced to other students and talking in general, I was very relieved. A lot of the kids were even saying, wow, you're actually able to understand what our professor's saying. And I'm like, yeah, I just didn't realize how, easy it comes. And I think it's extremely beneficial from, the years prior that, I've had all those years of experience compared to, most of these kids who are coming in only having 4 years of experience in high school speaking the language. So now that I have graduated college, I use my Spanish almost every day essentially. In my current occupation, I work for patient financial services at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. So a lot of the work that I do is over the phone. As you might imagine, a lot of the patients there do not speak English as their primary language and, speak Spanish. So typically whenever we're reaching out, a lot of the times we'll have to get an interpreter on the line. However, it does save a lot of time and hassle when I'm just able to call directly out to the patient, have that professional conversation, grasp everything that they're saying, understand everything that they're saying, and provide them, with the assistance that they need. And yeah, I would say I use it almost daily. At my job, there's at least 1 to 3 conversations daily that I'll carry out with patients and follow up regarding their concerns. When I was in college, one of my professors did actually pull me aside and ask some similar questions as to the ones we were having now. She was just very fascinated and was noticed that I was able to speak the language fluently. So she just pulled me aside, asked me some questions about where I grew up, the impact that the language had on me, the experience of learning it at a young age, compared to the other students that, as I mentioned, are coming in not having all those years of experience, which then she would then later show to a different class just to, make them aware of my experience. So I think that's really important and shows, how great of a community West Liberty really is.